Have you ever taken a photo at night or in a dimly lit room and ended up with a blurry, grainy mess? Maybe you captured more noise and detail, or your subject looked like a ghost in a shadow. Low light is one of the biggest challenges for photographers first starting out, but the fixes are way simpler than you might think. In this video, I'll share 5 quick tips in 5 minutes that'll help you master low light photography without buying new gear. Whether you're using a DSLR, mirrorless camera or a smartphone, these tips will help you take better photos at night. And here's a quick bit of advice some beginners don't know. If you're able to keep your camera still for a little longer, you can capture twice as much light without spending an extra penny on new gear. And that one change can take your photo from "I can't see a thing" to "wow, look at all that detail." And if you want more help with your photography basics, I've put together an ebook for you. So why not grab it after the video? It's completely free when you sign up for my monthly newsletter. Link down in the description for you. Okay, first up, stabilize your camera. This matters because low light forces your camera to use a slower shutter speed, and handshake plus a slow shutter speed leads to blurred photos. The simple solution is to use a tripod if you have one. If you don't have a tripod, apart from recommending that you actually get one, you could try propping your camera on the table, leaning against a wall, resting your phone on a coffee cup, or anything else to stop that movement. Also, use the self-timer or remote release so you don't jar the camera when pressing the shutter button. It all helps. Drop me a comment with the strangest object you've ever used as a makeshift tripod. I've heard someone use a bag of rice, and if it works, why not? Next, open up your aperture. This is important because your aperture is like your camera's pupil. In the dark, you want it wide open to let in more light. So on your DSLR or mirrorless camera, set your aperture to the lowest f number you have, f1.8, f2.8, whatever your lens allows. If you only have a kit lens, you might only be able to open it to f4 or f5.6. So if you intend doing a lot of night photography, you might want to think about getting a good old nifty 50. Not that expensive, and this one opens up to f1.8. On smartphones, good news, your lens is already wide open by default. And remember, a wide aperture gives you a shallow depth of field, which is great for single subjects, but for group shots, you may need to compromise with f4 or f5.6. Every situation is different, and shooting at f8 in the dark is like trying to fill a bucket with a teaspoon. When the lens is wide open, it's more like you're scooping light up with a big ladle. When you can, slow the shutter down, because a longer shutter speed means more light hits the sensor. So for still subjects like cityscapes and buildings, don't be afraid to use half a second, 2 seconds, or even longer. Just be sure to keep the camera steady, and some smartphones have a night mode you can use. It's basically your phone doing a long exposure for you. This old one doesn't have night mode, but you can also get third-party apps to give you that option and make it even easier. You need to be aware though that if your subject is moving and your shutter speed is too slow, you might get ghostly blurs. You'll need to find a balance, maybe 1/60th of a second or faster if they're really moving. This is a good option because ISO boosts your camera's sensitivity to light, therefore making your shot brighter. But if you push it too high, you may get some noise or grain showing up in the image. That said, don't be afraid to crank it up to 1600, 3200 or even higher if that's what it takes to get a sharp shot. Having some noise is better than a total blur, and anyway, modern cameras are getting better and better at handling noise from high ISO settings. Many smartphones handle ISO automatically, but if you use a pro mode, keep it as low as possible, provided you can keep it steady. If you can't, don't worry too much and set it to whatever you need. Maybe think of ISO like night vision goggles. It helps you see in the dark, but everything might look a little bit fuzzy. To state the obvious, your camera needs some light to work with. If there's total darkness, that's all you'll get, totally dark pictures. So look out for street lights, neon signs, candles, lamps, even the glow of a phone screen. Then move your subject towards the light or use it as a creative backdrop. What's the weirdest light source you've ever used for a photo? Car headlights? A fridge light? I'd love to know in the comments. I read and respond to everyone. And for staying with me, here's a quick bonus tip for you. When it's dark, autofocus can struggle. In a situation where there's very little light, switch to manual focus, or maybe use the flashlight trick, where you shine a light briefly so your camera locks focus on your subject, then turn it off and take the shot. On smartphones, try tapping to focus on a bright area if there is one to help it out. Okay, let's have a quick recap before you head out with your camera. Here's what we've covered today. Stabilise your camera. Open up your aperture. Slow your shutter when possible. Raise the ISO if you need to freeze motion. Use any available light sources. And our little bonus, take control of your focus. So if this helped, hit the like button. It really does help support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more photography education. Also, if you'd like to join a community of like-minded people, check out our Photography Foundations over on Skool. It's a free community for beginner and intermediate photographers designed to educate, inspire and empower your photography progress. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, the link is down there in the description. Thanks so much for watching, take care and I'll catch you soon.